You're with Julian on the Brown Note and the Oscars 2025 roundup. I do an Oscars roundup every year. Sometimes I've done a pre-show, sometimes I've done an after-show. And it's not because I care particularly about the Oscars, it's just kind of like a watermark on that year's films, although it's very out of sync with that year's films, as a lot of the Oscar contenders get watched by a wider audience in January, February and March, and aren't even released in the cinema in a wide way until until the year's finished. So it is it's annoyingly far into 2025 before they sort of round up last year's films. And I've put it online before, I hate the fact that critics review films and include them in their year-end list that aren't on wide release. You just wouldn't do that with an album. Very few people get to see some of these films. Anyway, it's the Oscars I've cared the least about. It's the most mediocre Oscars, I think, in the modern era that I can think of. And I don't particularly care, so I won't do any follow-up on this because I don't really care who wins. I do have a couple that I really don't want to win stuff, which I'll get into. I think one of the things that the Oscars is falling behind on, and the film The Substance is the only representative of the world of horror. Last year had probably the best year for horror movies ever. Horror movies over the last 15 years are where it's at when it comes to, you know, the A24 world of filmmaking and the art house and, you know, the cinematography, the soundtracks and the interesting screenplays. A lot of the best are coming through in the world of horror, and even the traditional style horror films. There are a lot of really strong ones out there. And last year had such a well of films to not even be noticed. I mean, Late Night with the Devil, did that not deserve some recognition? Certainly the production design of that sort of 1970s era talk show environment was amazing. David Dasmalkian, however you say that, came to prominence after years of being a really well-known character actor in many films, instantly recognisable. Smile 2 was incredible. I thought it upped the ante on the original in every way, and being an allegory for, you know, the impact of fame on an Ariana Grande-esque, Britney Spears-esque pop starlet. Naomi Scott not getting anything anywhere. Her performance was amazing, as was a lot of elements to it. Strange Darling, I would have thought, would have been worth a punt on writing. Such an interesting concept, so interestingly put together, like the 6 chapters in different orders to the actual story itself, which changed the perception of the story with each one. 2 awards-worthy performances. Willa Fitzgerald and Carl Gallner were magnificent. Nothing for that. Even Immaculate and The First Omen were beautifully put together films. At least we got The Substance. Out of the Best Picture, again, one of the reasons I don't care as much this year about the Oscars is not only have I not seen a large chunk of the films, I won't. I've got no interest in seeing Wicked. I've got no interest in seeing A Complete Unknown, which sounds like a Ron Howard-esque, trite, surface-level biography of a star, in this case Bob Dylan, and it hasn't got great reviews. There's a lot of films that sort of average 7 out of 10 that are in the Best Picture list, and in, like, you know, with Timothée Chamalet, who we'll talk about later, just not that great. Dune Part 2 was rubbish. Emilia Perez I haven't seen, I'm Still Here. That would be, that's a decent one. I think that's from the guy that did City of God, a Brazilian film. Nickel Boy's not seen. Wicked I'm not seeing. And I'm going to do reviews of Anora and The Brutalist in a little while on the show. To win it out of what I've seen, probably I would say I want The Substance to do really, really well, but it's not getting picked up for much. I would probably like to see The Brutalist win it overall as a realistic winner. And if it was I don't think I reviewed Conclave last week. It's fantastic in many ways, and then it's got the worst ending possible. I wouldn't be disappointed though, because it's so high quality. Director, I'd have to go with Bradley Corbett for The Brutalist or Coralie Fargier for The Substance. And I wouldn't mind if Sean Baker won for Anora. I've only seen bits of Emilia Perez, and that was enough to make me never watch it. It sounded so awful. And definitely not a complete unknown. I hate these Hollywood biopics of famous people. Like the Queen one. It was like they always win awards, and they just end a year later everyone goes, actually that was rubbish, wasn't it? Actor in a leading role, I'm really, this is the one I care most about. I cannot stand Timothée Chamalet. I really can't stand this nepo baby. He's brilliant as an actor playing a 15-year-old boy, and that's all he can do. And he keeps getting cast in everything. And I've seen very tepid reviews of his performance as Bob Dylan as well. And he's the out-and-out favourite to win. And he just won the Saga Award for Best Actor. Compared to Adrian Brody, showing absolute acting class, masterclass of acting in The Brutalist. For Timothée mid-strength Chamalet to beat Adrian Brody in that category would be shameful. And Ralph Fiennes, I wouldn't care if if anyone's earned it, he deserved it for The English Patient, whatever you think about that film. Like, neither of the lead actors got it in that film, and Schindler's List as well. He never got Best Supporting Actor for Schindler's List, which everyone says, well, that was a mistake, wasn't it? So I wouldn't mind Ralph Fiennes winning that one. Sebastian Stan's in for The Apprentice. Good to see that Donald Trump movie picking up some awards. But it seems to be between Adrian Brody and Timothée Chalamet for Best Actor. So that's the one I care most about. I mean, I really hate Hollywood's rewarding of impersonating celebrities. The worst case is Rami Malek, who does not deserve to have a Best Actor award in his back pocket for his bug-eyed, rote, stupid performance of Freddie Mercury, which was nothing, didn't conjure up Freddie Mercury at all for me, and it was a terrible film. Bohemian Rhapsody was laugh out loud bad to the extent of it being very entertaining. So I think they're going to do it again. I mean, the amount of impersonations of celebrities, you look through the winners of Best Actors, male and female, in the last 25 years, it's insane. And I don't mean something like the year that Rami Malek won. I would have thought that Christian Bale doing an impersonation of Dick Cheney, that was real acting. That was a performance. It was amazing. Rami Malek's wasn't, and then he beat that one. But you look back, you got Gary Oldman winning for Churchill, Eddie Redmayne for Stephen Hawking, Jamie Foxx for Ray Charles, Sean Penn for Harvey Milk, which was a dreadful performance, Philip Seymour Hoffman for Truman Capote, which may well have deserved it. There's a difference between doing an impersonation where you ape the mannerisms and voice of a person and actually deliver a full, nuanced, substance-filled persona. Julia Roberts, Erin Brockovich, Reese Witherspoon for June Carter, Helen Mirren, The Queen, Marion Cotillard for Edith Piaf, Meryl Streep for Margaret Thatcher, Renée Zellweger for Judy Garland. They just can't stop doing it. They just won't reward original performances where someone's created a character, like Adrian Brody in The Brutalist, where he's created a character that didn't exist. Put on some mannerisms and some lipstick and off you go doing the voice. And here you go, as an Oscar. Perhaps the most interesting... this is actresses in a leading role. Well, that's one where they've missed a lot of ones. So they've got Cynthia Erivo for Wicked, Carla Gascon for Emilia Perez, who has shot her chances to zero through the emergence of her previous MAGA-loving tweets. So she's not got any hope. Mickey Madison, Demi Moore, and Fernanda Torres for I'm Still Here. The bottom three in that, I would hope any one of them wins. I hope Demi Moore wins. I just watched Anora. I wouldn't mind if Mickey Madison wins. It's an outstanding powerhouse performance. I just feel like Demi Moore's has more substance and feeling and depth to the characterization, which is down to the writing and the style of the movie as well. Anora isn't trying to do that. And Mickey Madison is just out of this world. Honestly, she gets kidnapped, and I had serious sympathies for her kidnappers. She's a wild card. But they missed like some really heavyweight old school actors. Kirsten Dunst for Civil War, the only good thing in that whole film. Pamela Anderson for the Last Showgirl. How did that not get nominated? How did Kate Winslet not get nominated for Lee, one of her best ever performances? Not even featured. So I don't know what's going on this year, but I mean, actor in a supporting role and actress in a supporting role is the most interesting one, because finally people are talking about category fraud. And I really hope that has an impact on voting going forward. It may not this year, but I've been talking about it for ages. And it's where you take someone who's a lead actor and put them in the supporting actor category so they win, because they're in virtually the whole film as a lead actor. So people say, oh, I'm weighing up this genuine supporting actor versus a lead actor. Oh, the lead actor gets it. A recent one was Brad Pitt. He was a lead actor in that film. He was the lead actor in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and he won the Best Supporting Actor against Joe Pesci and against Al Pacino, who were supporting actors. And a lot of people say, well, what's a lead actor and what's a supporting actor? And Pulp Fiction is the gold standard for deciding that. There is the John Travolta character who was nominated for Best Actor, and the Samuel Jackson character was nominated for Best Supporting Actor, and people cried racism. Rubbish. If you're going to be a lead actor, you have to have significant screen time where you're not only on screen involved in the other person's story. Samuel L. Jackson in Pulp Fiction was only on screen with John Travolta in his stories. John Travolta also had the entire Uma Thurman third of the film where he was the lead actor. One's a lead actor and one's supporting. A very modern egregious example is The Favourite, an outstanding film if you haven't seen it. 3 lead actresses, all deserving of an Oscar. Absolutely outstanding work from Rachel Weisz, Emma Stone and Olivia Colman. And Olivia Colman got nominated for the lead actress. I thought she was the least lead actress in that film out of the other 2. But they do it so they don't split the vote. So on one level, if you've got 2 brilliant performances in one film as leads, you don't want to split the vote. You want to have one in one category and one in Best Supporting. And they put Emma Stone and Rachel Weisz in Best Supporting, where neither of them won. All 3 were magnificent in that film. But it's unfair, because if you're weighing up a supporting actor and you've got someone that's in the entire film with their own storylines, independent of the other lead actors, it's just not fair. They should start calling it out more. And I did the one version of the studios to get this wrong was Killers of the Flower Moon. Everyone said, that actress Lily Gladstone was a shoo-in to win the award for Best Actor, because they reversed the paradigm. They actually chose her as a lead actor when she was a supporting actor. So she goes up against Emma Stone, who's in every frame of Poor Things, and of course she lost. If she's in the supporting actor category where she should have been. As for writing, I mean, A Complete Unknown averages 7 out of 10 from critics. It's got significantly poor reviews from some critics. Conclave is brilliant for writing, but this is a terrible end, but the rest of the writing is amazing. So I don't know on that category who would win the Best Adapted Screenplay. I really hope it's not A Complete Unknown. I hope it's Conclave. I've not seen Nickel Boys and Sing Sing. Both of these films are getting a lot of attention, and I just haven't seen them. For original screenplays, this is probably one of the hardest categories, because Anora, The Brutalist and The Substance are all magnificent as far as original screenplays go, and I haven't seen A Real Pain, and that's picking up an awful lot of awards as well. That's a tough category. I doubt there's a weak entry in there. I don't know about the animated features. I would hope Flow, because that's the most independent of the major studios, I think, wins it. But Inside Out 2 got great reviews, still not on streaming, so I haven't managed to cop a copy of it yet. And from a Englishman historical perspective, I will not cry if Wallace and Gromit gets an Oscar, a second Oscar. And The Wild Robot was really good as well, so I don't care. But I would like Wallace and Gromit or Flo to win. Cinematography, if I want Timothée Chamalet shut out, I want Dune shut out more. Dune picked up a load of Oscars a few years back and didn't deserve any of them. And how, I don't know, and why it's got so much acclaim, but Dune 2 is equally bad, nearly. So I really hope that doesn't get it for cinematography, because if you're looking at actual cinematography, Nosferatu is amazingly shot, and so is The Brutalist. Absolutely stunning classical cinematography using archaic film stock, and it looks amazing, and I wish that would win, and then Nosferatu. And costume design as well, I think like Nosferatu is astonishing. I don't care about Wicked at all. How Gladiator 2 is in there. Conclave as well. I don't know why that's picking up a lot of awards, but really it's just people wearing Pope outfits. So yeah, I don't know. Original score, the Brutalist score, I hope wins that. It's amazing. Conclave music is excellent. And the other ones I don't care about. So, and production design, the Brutalist, I hope that wins, because the production design, it starts in like the end of the Second World War and moves through to about 1970. The production design is amazing in that. Visual effects as well, I hope Dune gets shut out there. Alien Romulus doesn't deserve it either. Out of those films, I think Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes looked amazing. It really did look incredible. Even better than the original trio that preceded it. Like some of the representations of like the orangutan and so on are just incredibly well done. So anyway, that's my wrap up. I just hope that Timothée Chalamet and his crappy Bob Dylan biopic don't win anything, and Dune doesn't win anything, and that films like The Brutalist, Conclave, and most of all The Substance are rewarded, and Anora. I hope those 4 films walk away with something. That's about it.